Hey everybody and welcome back. In today's lesson I'm going to teach you how to make a large bulbous form on the potter's wheel using the coil and throw method. To be successful with this you need a scoring device, a flexible metal rib, and lots of coils. I'm going to go ahead and start with about 12 pounds of clay, but you can literally just start with a slab of clay on the wheel and coil and throw from there. So I'm going to speed through certain sections and stop it where I think it's really critical. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and we'll get started. Okay, so we've got to remember that this is the foundation of these large pots. And so it's very important we leave this pretty thick. And also, this is also the line, right, of the pot. So I'm going to be pulling this out a little bit wider. I'm using a flexible metal rib on the outside. You can see I'm also supporting, reaching over the rim. I've also been collecting slip as we go, so for my first row of coils. I'm essentially just making a large bowl without a curved bottom. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I like to make a little bit of a trough here, just pushing the rim into itself. It gives you a nice connection area for your first coil, which is super important when it comes to making these wider pots. Okay, so I have my pieces basically it's close to leather hard. It's much stiffer. It's super important that we have a nice solid foundation. I can apply some pressure to this without any worries whatsoever. So I've made this little trough right here. I'm going to go ahead and vigorously score this up. And I think it's important to have a nice consistent slip. I'm going to fill up this whole area with slip. Make sure you fill your score marks all the way. This connection is probably one of the most important connections of the whole pot. Okay, I've already extruded some coils. You can hand roll them, extrude them any way you want. And I take this and smash it into that little trough. Use the web of my thumb, just kind of walk it along. And make sure that this one is very firmly connected. Notice I always like to make a little dent, and that kind of matches that trough, so it kind of reduces the bump when you're pulling. Like just to make sure it's well connected. And then I'm going to go ahead and just score this up. It's not quite as critical because this clay is the same consistency. It hasn't done any shrinking yet. But I also think it's important here. I mean, if I were to stack them all straight out, it's going to want to collapse. And so I like to stack these coils more upright. I'm going to do 3 or 4 layers. And then through the throwing process, I'll be pulling them out. Notice how I'm almost stacking these coils inward just slightly. That's going to help me with some centrifugal force. There's a lot of weight. I'm going to be stacking 12 pounds of coils or close on here. And I like to stack the coils until where my middle finger, which is my main pressure point, and the web of my thumb reach very easily. For this video, I'm just going to stick with 3 for the first one, and then as I go, I might increase that number. So I like to put my finger right below the first connection and hold it there. Some people actually blend these coils together. The first few times I ever did this many, many years ago, I blended the coils, but I realized you don't have to. You can just compress. So I'm applying some pressure down the top of my hand. I'm also squeezing that seam. I'm not pulling it, I'm just making sure everything's connected. Smooth and uniform. Once everything feels connected, I can go ahead and make my first pull. I can feel the thickness of the wall. It's about a ½ inch thick or so. And so I want to keep my fingers at 2 stiff, rigid pressure points. This cannot vary whatsoever. Keep them the same distance, and I can just pull right through that. First pull is going to be up. And the second pull is going to be out to my shape. I always like to have light pressure down. That's going to keep everything centered. Remember, when you're centering, you're having equal pressure on both sides of the clay. And it's no different when you're centering the coils. Okay, first pull looked pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it's lubricated up on both sides. And sometimes I do my second pull with a rib. Holding my rib at a slight angle. That's going to have the pulling effect. Again, working that seam as much as you can. I want this to be a nice continuation of the line. So I'm really just concentrating on that. And you have to be pretty slow going up when it gets wide like this. It takes a while for it to go around. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this process until I get to about the halfway point. I'm going to be coming out and then transitioning to where it actually starts coming back in. That's the very critical point. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this and then add a few more rows before I get there, and then we'll slow it down again. Okay, so everything looks on center, and I'm just starting to make that transition from going out to back in. If you're at this point, congratulations. This is when you really start to feel safe. I'm going to go ahead and continue this line with maybe 25-pound more coils, throw a nice thick rim, and we'll get this finished up. Well, we got a nice big pot going here. I think it's important when you're throwing big pots is to have a rim that really is adequate of the size of the pot. So you don't want a really thin little rim on a big pot. It just doesn't seem to fit. So I'm going to be blending these coils together and giving it a nice substantial top. What I'm doing here is actually squeezing slightly under the rim, almost making that shape with my fingers. These are tight, rigid pressure points, and I'm squeezing down, and that's going to displace this clay outwards. And I often like to think about this rim following the shoulder of the pot. Best part about this is if you don't like it, you can just chop it off and try again. Sometimes I'll put these little rim accents on here, just I could glaze this a different color if I want to. Okay, it's always a good idea to stop the wheel and look at the proportions from a distance. That's looking pretty good. After stepping off the wheel, I realized I just thought it was too big, so I ripped it off and made another one. I forgot to push record. The rim is a visual termination. It's very, very important that it's proportionate and that it looks good and you like it. The moment I stepped away from it, even though I liked it while I was making it, I knew I had to take it off. It's just one of those feelings. Okay, for me this is much better. Of course it's very subjective. Well, there you have it, everybody. Here's how you coil throw a bulbous form. With time and practice, it gets easier. Let me know how it goes, and good luck with this project.